So Vechain right now continues to push here towards higher levels. The question here is, will we finally be able to bounce here towards much higher levels? And what are some important technical signs to pay attention to here in the immediate short term? So in this video guys, we are once again back with Vechain, ticker symbol VET or VET, and we will be doing a Vechain price prediction and technical analysis. If you guys enjoyed these Vechain updates and want to see more of them, it's always super awesome and helpful when you show that by dropping a like. And real quick before we get started here, I just have to give a disclaimer. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Nothing in this video is financial advice. But alright guys, now let's get started right away here. So right now we are looking at the Vechain daily time frame, and as we can see here, you know, since starting pretty much back here September 30, we have been trading in a very stable upwards looking trend here. And also one thing we have been talking about quite a lot in previous Vechain updates is this key support zone right here. You can see this zone in between around 0.156 to 0.141, and we talked about here that the optimal scenario that we want to see is that we want to break this one and then sort of retest previous resistance to become support. And we can see here that the last couple of days, if we zoom in at the last couple of days for Vechain, we have been testing this one multiple times as support here. So this is definitely, at least in my personal opinion, a very nice sign here for Vechain. With that said, in order for us to continue to push here, we do have some levels here on the upside that we do need to pay attention to. Let's zoom in here a bit on the 4-hour time frame and take a look at this trend channel that Vechain have been trading in for a long while. You can see starting pretty much all the way back, you can see September 30 here, Vechain have been trading in a pretty clear upward sloping channel. With that said, recently we actually broke above this one. You can see here November 9, we broke above this one, saw a very nice force. Unfortunately, if you are a Vechain bull, we actually fell below once again. And in our video from yesterday, we talked about that we would not be surprised here if this continuation of the blue line acts as resistance once again. So this was a potential resistance area. You can see that we have been seeing this one as resistance multiple times. You can see, for example, October 26, we saw resistance at this one once again, you know, November 5th. And we can see here that today it looks like we might, or we are actually seeing some sellers coming in here once again at this upsloping blue line. So this just strengthens this line as a resistance. The first step I do want to see for Vechain here is, first of all, to break and get above this channel once again, so this upsloping blue line. With that said, if the bulls manage to push above this one, then the next sort of level I am paying attention to is right here at around 0.187 US dollars. And this one is very simple. This one comes from the local top Vechain printed here November 9. But now guys, now let's switch back here to the daily time frame, because if we can manage to push above all of these sort of short-term resistance levels and push higher, then this chart actually looks super bullish, because you can see in this wide open space here, pretty much all the way up to 0.266, we don't really see any clear resistance. You can see we don't really have any resistance in this area. Possible that we might find some resistance, you know, at the local top we printed May 8th. But the next sort of important resistance level, in my opinion, is actually all the way up here in between around 0.277 to 0.266 US dollars. Why am I looking out for this as a resistance zone? Well, the reason for this is pretty simple. You can see the upper line, this 0.277 line, comes from the all-time high Vechain printed here April 17, and the lower line comes from the sort of twister top we printed just a few days later here around April 20. So there guys, there you have some key levels to pay attention to for Vechain, and we are very soon ready to take a look at why we actually have a target at 0.85. Real quick before doing that, however, I do want to talk a tiny bit about something very important, and that is of course the downside scenario, because as you know, in crypto it can go very fast up, but it can also go very fast down. So let's talk a tiny bit about the downside scenario. I also do want to ask you guys a question today, and today's question is, first of all, are you holding Vechain? And you can also let me know for how long you have been holding. If you want to, you can drop that down in the comments below. But now guys, now let's take a moment to take a look at the downside scenario. So where are the most important support levels that we need to pay attention to? The first zone I'm definitely looking out for, and this one we talked about briefly in the beginning, it is this zone right here in between around 0.156 to 0.141. You can see this sort of zone right here. Why am I looking out for this zone? Well, as I said, this one acted as support here just recently quite a few times. We have also been seeing this one as resistance, you know, October 25th. We saw this one as resistance once again, September 5, resistance yet another time here, August 16. Look even more left here and we can see that historically multiple times, both as resistance, you can see resistance, but also as support quite a few times here. So this zone is super important, have been acting as both support and resistance historically, so definitely a key zone to pay attention to. If we switch back here to the 4-hour time frame, one sort of thing you can pay attention to if we continue to fall here is of course this upsloping lower blue line. You can see this one have been acting starting, you know, way back, as we said, way back here September 30, support 1 time, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see multiple times this one have been acting as support, so I would definitely look out for potential buyers coming in at this upsloping blue line. And if we even fall below that one, then I'm looking out for the zone. We have a zone here in between around 0.127 to 0.122 as a support zone. But let's not focus too much on the downside scenario because we are seeing, you know, some green numbers today, so let's focus on that. So now guys, what about if we can actually break all-time high? What am I looking out for then? Well, to understand where we get our target levels from, we need to zoom out a bit here. We need to zoom out way back here and use our Fibonacci tool from the all-time high, the very all-time high, Vechain printed here April 17, down to the very low here. And then we will get some Fibonacci extension. So if we can break all-time high, then the first target level I'm paying attention to is the 1.618 Fib extension, and this one would give us a price target of around 0.41 US dollars. So that is the first sort of target level I am paying attention to. With that said, if the Vechain bulls manage to push even above that one, then I'm actually looking up. I'm looking all the way up to our next Fib extension. This is our 2.618, and this one would give us a price target actually all the way up at 0.63. And this is a process we can actually repeat here. We can repeat this one once again. So if we break 0.63, then we actually have the 3.618, and this is the Fib extension that takes us all the way up to around 0.85. But yeah guys, I think that's pretty much it for this Vechain update. If you feel like you got any kind of help or value, then please consider dropping a like. And if you guys are interested in more, then don't hesitate to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I hope I'll see you guys in the next video. But for now guys, take care. Ciao, ciao.